I've got the $100 HID deal. Oh, great. That's just awesome. Nope, not at all. I just got one thing to say before we start this project. Technology is stupid. Let's just face it. Cars have gotten so complicated that they're stupid. Yep, they're getting better mileage. Yes, they're keeping the air cleaner and all this wonderful stuff. But I got to change the old headlight bulb in this. This is a low beam headlight bulb. I had a police officer follow me into the parking lot of the gym the other morning. I'm like, why is he following me? And I realized, got a headlight out. Never did. I guess I pulled into my spot too soon for him to say anything. He could have at least drove by and said, hey, you got a headlight out. I'd be like, oh, well, hey, thank you for telling me. But I figured he was following me for something, so I checked it out myself, and sure enough, had a headlight out. And so I'm thinking, okay, buy the bulb, no big deal, $3. Oh, here's the stupid. You ready for stupid? I can buy the regular stock replacement, $3, $2.79 I think it was to be exact. Or I can get the super HID modern technology, made it look like daytime out there for $100. $100. Did you heard that, right? $100. $3. $100. Let me think about that for a second. $3. That's a no-brainer, right? Do I care? The car, you can see for miles with the one that's in there. And then when you turn on the high beam, that bugger's like daytime. I mean, you know. And so I don't get it. I don't get it. $100 for a headlight bulb, or $3. That doesn't even make sense. Nonetheless, I guess if you got more money than sense, you go for the $100 bulb just cause. Or if you got bad eyes, I don't know, whatever. Second, I went on the old YouTube, right? You got to take the whole bumper assembly off. Not the bumper, but the fascia, the bumper cover and the grill and everything just to change a headlight bulb. Does that seem stupid to anybody else? That's just absolutely asinine. Asinine's a word, right? When I was a kid, I don't know, that's 100 years ago. But when I was a kid, it was 3 screws. Bloop, 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 bloop. And a little chrome ring. Comes out, unplug it, put the new one in, we'll plug that one in, 3 more screws again. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Done! 10 minutes, tops. 5, probably, if you knew what you were doing. And you don't have to mess with the screws that adjust it or anything, you know. 3 screws, you know. Now, the whole headlight assembly is going to come out. There's a whole computerized doodah in the back side. I'm going to show you all that. And it's a pain in a hoos cow. So, this video is not the norm. I'm going to try my best to not take the bumper cover off. I'm going to try to get this headlight out with minimal work. Now we do have to take the couple of little poppy looking things, I forget what they're called, little plastic pop-in things. We'll show you those. And you got to take a few of those out over here underneath the wheel wells. Have to turn the wheels that way. And then there's a 10mm screw back here on the back side of this. And you got to get a long extension, stick it up through there, and get that 10mm screw out. And that undoes that one. Then there's a couple of them that are up in here somewhere, or actually, yeah, somewhere in here. And then there's one down here behind this. Now, if you'll notice, this car broken here. That was from a little accident. You can see she's boogered up a little bit, so it had an accident. That's going to make easy access for me. But I'm gonna, when I start on this, I'm gonna put this in place and see if I can still get my hand. Anyway, and I'm gonna fix this today too. Y'all get to watch that as a little bonus. I'm gonna go ahead and fix that before we finish this video. But this will allow me to get the camera in there a little better to show you. But there's just a little rubber flappy thingy here that covers the bolts. You take that little rubber flappy thing out, and I'm gonna show you all this, and get your hand in there, and you should be able to get that one bolt out of there, and then it just all slides. There's nothing there. It doesn't tuck in or anything that I can tell. So, and this is rubber, so it flexes. So if you do have to move some things a little bit, flex them a little bit, it's flexible. You know, look, it flexes. So we're going to try this the simple way. And if my simple way works, by all means, try it. Otherwise, you got to take all this off, all the way on the other side and everything, and no, that's ridiculous. So let's see. I may not succeed. So by the end of this video, I may have to take the whole front off of this car. But I am going to do my best to show you all an easier way. So bear with me. Let's give it a shot. Can't hurt, right? Worst thing that can happen is I'll be wrong. And you'll have to... So I'll say it now. If you want to skip to the middle of the video, feel free. And that will... You know, if we end up taking all this off, well, that'll show you how to do that too. But I'm going to do my best not to, and it'll save you tons of time and aggravation if I can make it happen. So ready? Let's get started. Now, I'm the last guy to tell you not to watch a YouTube video on how to do things. But I've been misled. I was led to believe you've got to take the whole mechanism out, but you don't. On the 07, and I'm assuming the 03 through 07s are all the same, none of the YouTube videos I watched were accurate. Doesn't make any sense. And I'm going to show you why. You don't even have to take any of the fascia. You don't have to take any of the bumper cover. You don't have to loosen the grill. You don't have to do any of those. None. Zero. In fact, I'm going to put that all at the end. I'm going to let you watch what I'm doing what I'm saying right now first. That way you know, I'm going to put at the end all the junk I went through to pull this out. And if you have to pull your whole lens out for some reason, well, this will be a great video. But I'm going to let you watch on from here. I'm going to omit all of the mistakes I made getting to this point. Because in reality, the only part you really needed to see, and I'll probably have that before this part, I'm not really sure, but was taking out that airbox. This piece, that big piece that I took out from right here. Okay, which is just a big air box, which is really, I think, your air filter, right? That's the only thing you had to take out to do this job. So it's literally three bolts and a hose clamp, and pop the fascia cover off, the fancy cover on the engine. That's it, and I'll show you exactly why. Okay, I had to put it all back together just to show you, but I was. I guess the word would be trying to investigate my options. Got the cover on this, it just pops off, you know, the big Cadillac cover. These literally are just, so you just pull on it, it pops up, and another one here, and it literally, you just pull on it, and it pops up. So there's a little pushy thingy on the back, you push at the top of it, releases the catch for it, you pull that off. The only reason I had to take the top off, the fascia cover here, is because I had to get it this screw right here. There's a hose clamp right here. There's going to be a bolt here, and a bolt here, and a bolt here. Again, all 10mm. And then you're just going to pull the air box out of here. It just pulls straight out, just like so. And that gives you a little more room in here. There's a little rubber cover that just pops out, and then you've got, I'll have to take the camera in here, there's a little, the wiring that's for the headlights. You're going to have to take that out too, or it's not going to let you take it out. So let's show you that. If you look back here, there it is. You got a plug right here. And let's see, just kind of, I don't see any kind of a release on it whatsoever. So it just kind of should pull straight out, maybe not. Let me investigate that for a minute. I can't really see, maybe right here. There we go. There's a little catch right there. You just press on that little tab right there, and that releases it. This is, I have it all out, which for the benefit of you all, that's a great thing, because it's going to allow me to show you exactly what's going on. But see this little cover? It just goes, it just fits in here and turns, okay? Just turns. Then you just basically turn it back and pop it out. I may have the wrong one. I don't think so though. It just turns. Yeah, it's a little bit stiff, but you just turn it and it pops out. Okay, it's just a little turn and pop thing. And then you can access the bulb. And inside here, there's a little clippy thingy. I don't know if I can zoom in on that for you or not. I'll try. There we go. That's pretty zoomed, I think. Alright, so it's got a little piece of wire that has got a hook. And you just pop it over. And boop, the bulb comes out. Look. Now these are halogen bulbs. Don't touch the bulb. Halogens, you don't want to touch the bulb because that'll mess it up. So don't touch that. And then, so that just pops out, and this is a spade connector, and you just pop it off. You just pull it off. And then you put it back in. So this one's just going back in. This is the good one. I've got to replace the other one. But then you just put that little clippy thing in there and hook it back. Okay? This one is already off. And there's the spade connector, and I'll peel this little rubber back so you can see what I'm talking about. It's just a spade connector, and it just slides on there. And that is all there is to it. It just slides on right here. And you can do this. You can access these right from this hole once you take the air box out. So you don't have to unplug anything. This doesn't have to come out. And I'll pull the camera back again so that way you can see kind of what I'm talking about. All this hoopla of loosening this and getting this whole headlight out of here was a complete waste of time. If you just need to change the bulb, folks, it ain't hard. I don't really understand, maybe this car is different than every other CTS in the world. I don't know. But at least I know how to take all this crap apart now. But I could have lived without that. I'm going to go ahead and fix this while I'm at it, but that's a different video. But that's, there's a bolt here that was a humdinger to get at, and really didn't have to get, it goes, let's see, it goes to here. Okay, and you gotta, but with this air box out, you can do all of that. And so I don't really understand why all those videos were telling me to stand on my head and whistle Dixie at the same time, because in reality, this doesn't have to come out. With this in there, you unscrew that little cap I showed you, and it's right there. You just flick that little lever over, and the bulb comes out. And again, be careful not to touch the bulb because they're halogens. Now, maybe a non-halogen system is different, but, it's nice to know our American-made Cadillac is, says made in China right here. So, anytime you get mad about getting Chinese parts, don't, because everything's made over there now, even your Cadillac parts. So, Harley Davidson I saw made in Japan on the forks when I was working on one of them. So, yeah, don't worry about that. But there you go. Take out this air box, unscrew that cap, pop that little lever, and boom, you are done. It's literally, I could have had this whole job done in 10-15 minutes, really. So I apologize for all that other hoopla. I'm going to show that at the end instead of the beginning, just because you don't have to experience the frustration that I did. Because I knew, I'm watching those other videos, and they're all taking this crap apart. You don't have to. So I'm going to I've got some stuff I'm going to do here before I put it back together, but then I'm going to show you all how to Well, basically I did that. I'm going to get the new bulb. I'm waiting for it to come in. I'm going to pop it in and I'll let you watch that. And that's pretty much it. And once I get the headlight back in, I'll show you exactly where those parts are. I am going to have to edit the snot out of this video because I wasted so much time doing all the stuff that other YouTubers told me I had to do. And I'm not happy. I can't imagine you all would be. But anyway, let's go ahead and put this one together. I got the new bulb. It just showed up. Now, like I said, don't touch the bulb part itself. If you have to, you use a rag or something. I'm just going to try to be careful. And then just push this spade connector back on. Make sure it's on all the way it is. And then I'm just going to slide it in here. And because I've had this one out, it's going to probably... Oh, there we go. Went easier than expected. And then again, just push this in, catch it, and there you go. That's really all there is to it, folks. Now, when it's in there, it's a little less easy to see, but this worked out just for the sake of letting you see how to do it. Now, I just put that back on. But in reality, none of this other stuff had to happen. This is all, you don't have to take this out. You can do this while it's in the car. You will have to take that air box out, and I showed you how to do that, but that's really all you have to do is take that air box out and you can access these two. And now that you know how to do it, it's really, you shouldn't be more than 10-15 minutes doing this job. So here's an hour-long video to show you how to do something that should have taken 10-15 minutes. So I'm going to put all this at the beginning of this video so that you can see how to really do it. If you want to watch the rest of the video on the fiasco that I did because I watched another YouTube channel, and I'm not knocking those guys. For whatever reason, their system looked different. So I don't know if they had different years or maybe I was looking at the wrong thing. But anyway, I'm going to put all this back together. I'm not going to show you any of that because this didn't have to come out. This is really all you had to do. And I will show you putting the air box back in because that's, you do have to do that. But aside from that, the rest of the stuff that I did today was a waste of time. And that's really all you need to know right there. And it's an H1 bulb. Cost me $3. I was ranting and raving about the HID, but turned out it wasn't it. So this was just an H1 piece of cake. There we go. For the sake of letting you see exactly what little you have to do, here are those, well, there's not a good view there. And now we can see it really well. These are those knobs right here, and there's another one down back there. See it? Right there. Here. That's the low beam. That's the one I replaced. This is the high beam. But you can see that they're very, very accessible from underneath this box. So I don't know what those other videos are showing. I don't get it. But it's as simple as unscrewing this right here, and everything's right behind it. I don't get it. I did a whole lot of rigmarole for nothing, and I'm hoping to save you all from that. So this is an 07 CTS with a 3.6 liter, and this is how simple it is. I literally could have done this in probably 5-10 minutes tops. Take the rubber piece to put it back in, and it literally is just sets in there. Just pop her in there. She's got little cuts in her to fit around all the wiring, and there we go. And then we just got to get the air box, which I probably should check the air cleaner while I got her out. But in fact, I might just do that. Let's go ahead and check the air cleaner while we're at it. Take these screws out. And so if you ever want to change your air cleaner, you'll have to do this anyway. So changing your light bulb ain't a whole lot easier than a whole lot. Whoops, she's sliding all over the place. It's not a whole lot harder than let me try that again. Changing your headlight bulb is not a whole lot harder than changing the air cleaner. Yeah, that's it. That's what I was trying to say. That one actually looks pretty good. And this is the engine side, though. Let's see what the non-engine side looks like. Wow, that's a big bugger. She's a little dirty. Not horrible, though. I wonder if you have to buy this whole thing, or if there's some way to just change the filter itself. My guess is it's probably this whole kit and caboodle here. Yep, probably so. If you take your airbox out and you don't have this set up, well then, yeah, you probably have to do a little bit more. Follow the rest of the video. On the other side, let's go ahead and show that while I got it. Side, you have your computer. But again, got a bolt here, a bolt here, and there might be one hiding elsewhere, but I only see those two, and there'll be a little slide bolt that it catches on back here probably. And then that'll come up out of the way, and the same thing. You'll be able to access the back of it once you get this out of your way. It's starting to cool off, and took a little while. I had to wait for the parts girl to deliver the new one, and you know, kind of got a thing for the parts girl, so I don't really want to rattle it or taking too long. You know, she happens to be my wife, but that's besides the point. Nonetheless, got the new one. It's kind of elaborate, right, for an air filter. But I figured we got this air box out, we might as well go ahead and... It doesn't want to go in. I'm doing something wrong. It does seem to only go in one way. But maybe it just snaps in a little bit. There we go. You gotta talk to it a little. All right, there we go. Well, that's good enough, I guess. And then we gotta get this piece, put it back on there. Yeah, I went in and got something ain't right. Oh, here we go. This got these little teethy thingies here, and they gotta go into these little holes. Kind of a weird setup, but okay, whatever. I'm not a huge fan of modern cars, in case y'all haven't noticed. I mean, I love the reliability and the fuel mileage and that kind of stuff, but they're so overcomplicated. You know, I was thinking this is not as complicated as it was led off to believe. The other YouTube channels that I watched made this particular job look extremely complicated, but I should have just jumped in there on my own, because I was going to do exactly what it took to get this job done, and that's not what Get in there! Alright, so if I hadn't watched another YouTube channel, I broke my own rule. You never ever tighten the bolts until you got them all in. I broke my own rule, and this one doesn't want to go in because it's off a little. There, that's better. But you always leave them loose till you get them all started, and then you go ahead and suck them up. So we got a nice new air cleaner now. It needed it, and you know, I probably could have waited because I still have to put an injector in this car. But at least you don't get pulled over, you know, for number one cylinder missing. But anyway, not that I worry too much when I get pulled over. Just get to say hey to one of the boys in blue. And that's pretty much it. So now I'm going to put this back in. And y'all didn't get to watch me take it out. I kind of ran it through for you. But you didn't really see me do the whole schmeal, Schlemazo, Haas and Pepper Corporated. You guys will remember that one. But I'm just going to work this in here. You got to kind of line it up with the hose over here. And see how easy that went in? You got to tie this hose. This little line plugs in right here. There we go. Get the hoses out of the way. That's pretty much it. Alright. Get the screwdriver. We're going to tighten this clamp up right here. Let me give you guys a little better look. Got the hose clamp right here. Make sure she's fully on there. Then 1, 2, 3. Put these bolts back in. I know this is this one because it's got the little bushing still attached to it. This goes on. That hose clamps in there. This particular bracket is semi-broken, but it still works. This one we're going to put over here. And then I got to try to find the other one that right there, and then there's one more here. I got to go try to find the one that I put somewhere else. Ah, found it. Well, except I can't seem to find the hole to put it in. Well, I'll be dipped in horse putty. Being a little bit of a humdinger. I can see the hole. I don't know why it's not going in. There she blows. Put the decorative cover back on. Uh-oh. Good heavens to Murgatroyd. Alright, you just gotta take the oil cap off. Man, I don't know what's making my nose itch, but egad. And then you just take the cover and you put her on here. And just cool thing about it, you just kind of line up that oil hole as best you can. And then just get that oil hole lined up there. There we go. And just push it down. See? It's on there. Put your oil cap back in. And voila. That's all there is, folks. That's all there is. That's all, folks. Really. You're not going to be half as irritated as I was, because you're not going to take all that junk apart trying to figure this out. And if you, well, I guess if you get to this point, this will be the end screen. So, you know, you might have watched the whole episode at this point. But if you do watch the whole episode, you'll notice that I took a whole bunch of stuff off that I didn't have to. If you watch the first half of this, which, you know, should get you where you want to go, you'll find out it really wasn't that big a deal to change that headlight. I mean, that bulb. I think, in my opinion, had I not done all the stupid stuff that I did, this should have taken 10 minutes. For a novice that's never done it before, maybe 15. Honestly, I could probably pull that airbox, change that bulb in 5 minutes, because now that I know what I'm doing. So I'm going to give y'all 15. If you take more than 15, give me a call, because, you know, or just practice. Doesn't matter. If it takes you an hour, it's still way better than taking that whole thing. And to be honest with you, if I didn't have the experience I had, and I watched those other videos where you're going to take everything off the front of the car, I just said, never mind, I'm bringing it to a mechanic. Honestly. But don't be scared. This was a piece of cake once you know what you're doing. And I hope that I showed you well enough so you won't go through that big fiasco of watching those other. And hopefully, prayerfully, you will watch this one first. And I'm going to try to put a title to it so that you guys will catch it, like doing this in 10 minutes maybe kind of thing. So when you start watching those other, you go, heck with that, I'm going to watch the 10-minute guy. I don't know what kind of headlight system you have in your CTS. This one had this one. Right? So if yours has this style, pull that airbox out. It's going to help you anyway, even if you do end up having to pull a whole light out kind of thing. The airbox coming out is going to be a lot easier. But this is an 07, and it's nothing like the videos I watched. Go figure. Not that there's anything wrong with those videos. They're just obviously the wrong car or something. I don't know. And this didn't. And this might be my fault, because when I called asking for the headlight bulbs, they gave me 9006 HZs or something like that. Wrong. Then I asked them about the HIDs and looked at those. Wrong. Then I said, I've got an H1 in this car. And they said, oh, we got those. So before you order your light bulb, you might want to see what kinds you have. Maybe these cars came with different lights. Maybe the lights in this car are custom. Maybe, you know, I don't know. This has got those halo kind of lights. In fact, well, you know what? Before I finish this, I guess I better show you that they work, right? So here we go. Let's do that first. Voila! It works. I hope this video helped you immensely. if you made the mistake of watching one of those other videos and having the same problem I had, start taking everything apart, I was determined to not take everything apart. And I did end up getting that headlight out without having to take everything apart. But I did take way more apart than I needed to. So, with that being said, I hope you watch this video first. And that way, if you have, and I don't know, maybe my headlights are aftermarket headlights somebody added before or later. Yeah, before. If that's the case, then I'm steering you in the wrong direction. But honestly, if that's the case, I recommend you buy these because that made it a lot easier. Nonetheless, the bulbs in this, don't remember if I already said that in the last piece, but they're H1s, not the ones that the parts store listed. So this video may be steering you in the wrong direction because maybe somebody replaced these. These might be aftermarket headlights because they're the halo style. They look stock enough, but maybe not. I don't know. But if you have this style headlight, pull that airbox out. It's going to help you either way. By the way, this just pops on there. It just literally pops on and off. So, and it's rubber. So I'm going to bring you up close here. Come on in. We'll show you what this is about. So come on. These are what I'm talking about. These little snappy doodads. Now I'm going to be able to take this piece out because it's broken. And that's going to make my job here quite a bit easier. But these have got a little notch for a screwdriver. And you kind of just get it in there. And you just try to get behind this and get it to come up a little bit. Just like that. I'm just using a multi-tool. Nothing fancy. And then if you can get your needle nose pliers underneath it, you just pop that up like so. And then, boop, see? And all it is a little, this just swells as you push this button down. And so when you pop the button up, it allows that to squeeze in and come off. This car, if I remember right, doesn't really have a good place to put your screws and things. We're going to put them over here and hope we never out of sight over here. We'll put them in a safe place so that that doesn't cause us any grief. And I apologize if I'm sniffling. It's one of those damp, it's warmish, it's like 60s, but it's, you know, kind of damp, so your nose tends to get a little runny. But now mine, I'm going to show you. This one just popped. This is broken, so it's going to be real easy to see in here. And I may not be able to get past this if it wasn't broken. I'm going to try to see. I did put some tape on the back here. And take a look in here. And what I'm seeing is you cannot. Here's the rubber thing I was talking about. You cannot get in there without undoing the top of the grill. So we're going to have to take these buttons out of the top of the grill. Not too big a deal. So let's go ahead and pull these out. That was an easy one. These are actually out of another vehicle. I replaced this grill not too long ago. These are actually a different style, but they do the job. And I hope to God I don't have to take all of this off, but it's not looking good from here. Sometimes this thing will come right out. Don't worry about it. Oh, and you're not able to see. What am I doing? Let me fix that. Sorry about that. I was not paying attention to the camera and didn't realize that you couldn't see what I was doing. But just popping these little things out of the grill because evidently this headlight comes all the way over here. Don't know why. Again, technology is stupid. And then we're just going to work this up under here. multi-tool is perfect for this particular task. And that's that. Now I put this back in place just to see if I could get in there, and with this grill undone, I can get my hand in through the grill on this end, and I can reach the bolt holes. You just pull that rubber thing out of the way, and I can reach all the bolts that are, just by flexing this a little bit, I can reach all the bolts that are in here. Now, because I have this missing, that allows you a fair view in here, and I'll show you that. Now, right here is one of the bolt holes, and right here is another one. Okay, in this car's case, it's broken, but in fact this whole lens here is broken, but it doesn't do anything. That's what's so stupid, is none of this does anything. But I've got this piece out of the way, but even with this piece in there, I just did that, so now I wouldn't be able to get a good video of it, but even with this piece in here, I was able to get in here and get to those. So my advice is, you just undo all these top snaps. You can access them through here. Stick your arm in there. See? And then you can access those two bolts. It's not bad, because this flexes quite a bit, you know. You can get a lot of flex out of that. And that too, even with this on here. Now, again, all this is doing is allowing me to show you a lot better. But in reality, I was able, even with this in place, I was able to get this to flex out of the way. Another thing I probably should mention is all of the bolts that you're dealing with are 10 millimeter. So even the one that's behind here that we're fixing to get to right now, those are also 10 mil. So basically you just need to, better not put that there, I'll think it belongs there and forget about it. Maybe I'll stick it here. Yeah, we'll stick it there because it's a different color. But anyway, again, you may not be able to get a ratchet in there. I think on this one you can. This one probably going to have a little difficulty, so you may have to go with, oh, you could probably get a, well, yeah, you're probably not going to get that a ratchet. You'd have to use a long extension, maybe from over here. From if you stick that bit in that hole in the grill, you get a long extension, get that to that one. But that's the only one here. Look, see, she's almost ready to come out now. The only problem I'm going to run into is this. We may have to take it off, because it's right, it's got to come forward, and with this piece on there, I may get away with it, but you won't. We may have to take all that fascia off. That's just because you got all that in there. Yep, folks, I hate to admit it, but I might get away with it, but you're gonna have to take all of this off, I think. We'll keep trying. I don't see any way of getting this out of the way of the light, especially when that piece is intact. But we'll keep plugging at it and see what we can do. While I was looking at all this, I have one last hope. I'm going to pop these off of here. Turn the wheel in all the way towards the, if we're doing the driver's side headlight, then you want to turn the wheels all the way to the passenger side. If you're doing the other side, obviously you turn them the other way. This one's already hanging out, so this one ought to come out pretty easy. And then you're going to get the rest of these three. I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Fourth one's missing, so this car's been in a small wreck, so some of the stuff's missing, which making my job a little easier, but you're still going to have all of those to deal with if your car hasn't been wrecked. But so far, I'm still optimistic about getting this, you know, been doing this without having to pull all the fascia off. But because my plan is, take the keys out of my pocket because they're digging into my leg. That's one thing. Okay, here we go. The plan is to get it to come out this way and then pull it sideways. So we're gonna give it my best shot, because I think having to pull this whole fascia thing off is just ridiculous. Or basically the bumper cover, I guess is the politically correct term. That's just absolutely stupid. So got these loose. Pull this back. Well, okay, let's say that again. Pull this back. Okay, pull this back. It's not want to cooperate. There we go. There we go. Okay, we got this loose. And oh man, I can't see nothing in there. There's one back here somewhere. And let's see if I can see it. Okay, so that you can see what I'm talking about. If you look in there and you can see the wrench. It's hard to tell that it's a wrench, but you see that shiny spot. Let's see if I get my hand in here. Right there. See that? That is the bolt you have to get to. So you can get in there with a small wrench. A ratcheting wrench would probably be the best. And I think there might be another bolt supposedly here as well. But mine's broken. See that small spot right there? But that's the bolt right there. So that's the one you got to get to. You're going to need a box end wrench, or preferably a ratcheting box end wrench. You might get a 1/4 inch drive ratchet in there, but you can get it if you want to. Okay, I had to put it all back together just to show you. But I was, I guess the word would be trying to investigate my options. Got the cover on this, it just pops off. You know, the big Cadillac cover. These literally are just, so you just pull on it, it pops up. And another one here, and it literally, you just pull on it and it pops up. So there's a little pushy thingy on the back. You push at the top of it, releases the catch for it. You pull that off. The only reason I had to take the top off, the fascia cover here, is because I had to get it this screw right here. There's a hose clamp right here. There's going to be a bolt here, and a bolt here, and a bolt here. Again, all 10mm. And then you're just going to pull the air box out of here. It just pulls straight out, just like so. And that gives you a little more room in here. There's a little rubber cover that just pops out. And then you've got, I'll have to take the camera in here. There's a little, the wiring that's for the headlights. You're going to have to take that out too, or it's not going to let you take it out. There is a 10mm bolt. Okay. You have to take that out, and there's another one right up here. And then you can push this forward and then down. And I'll show you what's happening there. If you look, oops, it just fell out. But if you look, there's a little slide nut. You slide it out, you can see the hole now. You slide it out, and this will come loose. Okay? Now you don't have to take the whole thing off. I figured it out. I'll show you. There's a lot of little nuts and bolts in there. There were 2, and I'll show you where they were. I got in there with this, and it's 10mm ratcheting box end. You'll have to take that air box out like I did. And then I was able to pull this out. If you notice, this little lip was underneath the bumper. That's why I couldn't get it. So by pulling this loose, I was able to push this in, get it out. You just got to get it clear up here. And you just kind of flex it like this. And even if this piece is in here, where'd I put it? Right here. Even if this piece is in here, she'll flex enough out of the way. Oop, I have it in the wrong way. But it comes out this way. It's a humdinger, but this is very, very flexible. Especially once you do this, you've got a lot of leeway. And there we go. I got her out. Now the fun part, trying to figure out how this goes in. And I got a funny feeling. I've got the $100 HID deal. Oh, great. That's just awesome. Nope, not at all. I hope this video helped you. If you enjoyed this video, do me a big favor and subscribe. Could use some subscribers. Helps a guy out. And the next time I do a video, it'll come out too. And I'm always out for helping people. And I've got how-tos. I've got hot rods. We've got all sorts of stuff for you to watch. There's Corvettes, and there's BMWs, and there's Cadillacs, and there's Dodge trucks, and Chevy trucks, and Dodge vans, and Will It Run, and how to do this. And we got Gremlins and Barracudas, and you name it. we got stuff that you can watch. But if you're not a car guy, or a girl, could be a girl, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this helps you. I did end up taking that whole side apart to get that piece out. So if you do have the style that has to come out, you can do it without having to take the whole thing apart. I mean, it might make it easier. There's some hidden bolts and stuff in there that I tried to show you, that are backwards, and so it's a bit of a chore. It's a little bit daunting, to be honest with you. You got to be able to feel with your hands. You got to have the tools to get in there, but it's doable. Okay. So no disrespect to the guys that tell you to take the whole fascia, the whole front bumper cover thingy off, because it might make it a lot easier. But I was determined not to do that, because I'm like, there is no way I'm taking the entire front end off this car just to change one headlight bulb. That's just stupid. But it may have to be. And I thought I was going to have to go that route until I found those little on those. And those are H1s, which I think is the common aftermarket one. So this may be an aftermarket setup, but golly, it's way better than the original stuff, let me tell you. Because next time I got a headlight bulb out, I'm going to do it in 5 minutes. So the other side, like I showed you, is just another box. That's the computer, so be careful with that one. But again, get it out of the way, 5 minutes. Okay, so hopefully you have this style headlight. If you don't, well, you might have to take all that stuff off I showed you. Okay, but do me a favor, subscribe. Thank you for watching. Love my subscribers, and if you got some advice for me, like maybe you're one of these guys that did take the whole thing off of there, and you're like, you're crazy, you can't do it, you're gonna break stuff. Throw it in the comments. I'm okay with that. But hopefully it helps somebody, and please subscribe.